My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is February 12th, 2026. It is 2:51 a.m. So I just put a list together. Let's get to it. There's a lot going on. I don't know if I'll be able to finish everything. So we're gonna focus actually on PYTE because I think I made too many videos. I actually just uploaded 2 videos for this channel. So let's go on X. This I put it on the list for something else. I will not be recording this today. Alright, so there have been a lot of tweets going about Epstein and the Sussex squad. We're talking about the leftovers, William going to the Middle East and things like that. So the squad wanted our timeline to be somewhat clean. This is what that means. Pick up the good guys to cleanse your timeline. Okay, so pretty much that was that. Harry and Meghan, you're all blessed to me today. I was getting back down. My blood pressure was going up. Then boom, a smile to remind me not all is lost. Thank you. How lovely. We must look after ourselves. There's all of that. Okay, so that's pretty much that. Because we were bombarded, especially my timeline, with things that will get you so freaking upset. So sometimes the squad do tweet things like that. If you follow them, if you are Sussex squad, you will see some of those squatters who want like to calm down. There's something good out there. Alright, just to put a smile on your face. That's what this was about. Next tweet. Now this is JTB. Alright, let's see here. Prince William's Earthshot is backed by DP World. DP World is chaired by Sultan Mohammed bin Salman. His name resurfaces in unredacted Epstein emails, and we are supposed to pretend optics do not matter. After Andrew, be serious. Judgment at that level is not optional. I don't have this particular tweet on my list for me to share with you, but I shared it on my community board on APTS Sussex, where I think the UK Parliament voted for something. What did they vote for? About the Epstein file thing, like to go after the people, the Brits who are on the Epstein file. And I think they shut it down pretty much. They like, no, in terms of the way the vote went. Go on my APTS Sussex. I posted on my community board. So let's listen to this.
So the future King of England, Prince William, is publicly partnered with a billionaire whose name shows up in newly unredacted Epstein emails, where Epstein wrote, "I loved the torture video." And we're supposed to act like that's okay? Let's connect the dots clearly. Prince William's flagship environmental initiative, the Earthshot Prize.
Okay, 2 things. In one tweet, again, I do not have it on my list, where they were talking about William going over there, or which one was it? The guy, the Middle Eastern, like the tortured particular video. And what came to mind was when William was younger, where he was like put his hand like trying to choke one of his classmates. That's what came to mind. The other thing that came to mind, what was it? Let me move it back slightly.
William's flagship environmental initiative,
The Earthshot thing. When he went to Brazil, originally I thought the Earthshot was what do you call this? A non-profit kind of thing to help young people bring their ideas to light. He will help fund it. That what was my thinking. That's what I thought Earthshot was. But once he went to Brazil, he did an interview with Cristiana Amopour, That's when he said it's for profit. So, hey, that's his thing. Nobody's telling him not to do it. Whoever has decency or things like that, they learn to stay away. I'm moving it back. You know what? Let's start all over.
So the future King of England, Prince William, is publicly partnered with a billionaire whose name shows up in newly unredacted Epstein emails, where Epstein wrote, "I loved the torture video." And we're supposed to act like that's okay? Let's connect the dots clearly. Prince William's flagship environmental initiative, the Earthshot Prize, has been backed by DP World. DP World is chaired and led by Sultan Mohammed bin Salman. That is not 6 degrees of separation. That is a direct funding and partner relationship. Events, public appearances, branding alignment. Now layer this on top. William's own uncle, the royal formerly known as Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, became synonymous with royal disgrace over his association with Jeffrey Epstein. The monarchy nearly imploded from the reputational damage alone. The scandal is not ancient history. It is a live scar on the institution. So after all of that, after watching what Epstein proximity did to your family's credibility, you would think the future king would operate with zero tolerance for even the faintest overlap. Instead, we now have William's high-profile Earthshot partner resurfacing in the Epstein files, tied to disturbing email content. When your institution has already been scorched by Epstein associations, aligning yourself with a billionaire whose name lands in the same document universe is reckless optics at best. You are not a startup founder who missed a background check. You are the heir to the British throne. You can't lecture the world on ethical leadership and climate responsibility while your own network drifts into Epstein discourse again. You can't issue bullshit statements about caring for the victims and then maintain business as usual relationships with figures now circulating in those files. After Andrew, the monarchy had one job: stay far away from anything remotely adjacent to Epstein. And somehow, here we are. This is a failure of judgment at the highest level. And Harry and Meghan are the problem. Be fucking serious. And that's the read. This is the Notorious JTB, notoriously opinionated, signing out.
The UK has always been like that, okay? What William is trying to do, instead of being secrecy with what previous monarchs have been doing, including his father, is to stay quiet, do things behind the scene. He wants to normalize it. He doesn't want to do things in secrecy. The UK has always been like that. Okay? What happened to, what's this Middle Eastern, well, they say he's American by citizenship, the journalist where they killed Shakozy, what's his name? I can't pronounce his name properly. Where he got killed. Okay, the UK has always been like that. What William, on the other hand, wants to do is to normalize it. With the Epstein thing, they want to normalize this type of behavior. So if the UK doesn't do anything about it, your children, you're putting your kids at risk. What the US is trying to do, it's going to be hard, is people are upset when it comes to children in the US. We'll see how this turn out, because what I'm seeing, I didn't put it on this video on the list, like many of the other European countries whose those elite people name have been appeared on Epstein list. Okay, they're doing something about it. Now with the US, with the kind of administration we have right now, don't hold your breath. Nothing is gonna be done. Okay, this is why they're trying to suppress the midterm election. Once people go vote and put the right people in, hopefully they do something. If they get elected, maybe something might change. But for anyone outside of the US, with the Trump administration right now, who's running and trying to put its hand in every piece of the pie, don't hold your breath. Nothing is gonna be done. However, there are small steps that is being done. Before, if people didn't fight for the list to come out, we will never have seen it. So there's something little, it's inching little at a time, something is being done. But to get people to be punished and things like that with the administration, nothing is gonna happen. Okay. All right, so let's see here. Let me read what's there. Okay, firms are suspending deals with Prince William. Just took $1 million yesterday. Well, second firm suspends deal with DP World over Epstein files. Okay, Earthshot and Epstein. Do the royals ever pay for anything using their own money? William, very thick and very greedy. What combination? And I say, oh, JTB, there's the mic. No, it isn't. And no, he didn't. Okay, they always make excuse. The thing is right in front of you. But okay, let's move on. So pretty much people with decency, you attach your name with certain things, it's your own demise. If you want to keep prestige and integrity and ethic, do your research and align yourself with whatever you believe in. Otherwise, you'll be dragged down or pulled up with the respective, connection. Alright, next tweet. There's no comment here. Seeing all the public faces of the British royal family getting heckled and asked questions about Epstein and Andrew each time they step outside is karma served cold, making tears woke up the dry bones of the dead slaves. They should have left Harry's wife alone. Okay, there's no comment. One retweet. Next tweet. Okay. The new crisis manager is going to need her own crisis manager. So what's going on here? Thor overshadowed by Andrew, you bet. But the royals will have to get used to this. Chris Chip TV reports. Okay, so that's Chris Chip. They tagged Chris Chip. Or maybe he would. Okay, the royals have seen what they're up against with Epstein scandal. Despite hopes William's Saudi trip will shift attention. Yeah, they keep on asking him questions. Let's pause this. Is that an ad? No. The CM needs therapy. Crisis manager need therapy. Given the constant disaster created by the royal family, I don't see how a crisis manager can help when they are causing their own destruction from within. Alright, they are no doubt busy trying to work out a way to blame Harry and Meghan for all this too. LOL. Man is stupid? Okay. The man is stupid. What the hell is that? Okay, now I see. The man is stupid. At least if he took Kate along, people who have been distracted by her fashion, good or bad, Prince of Pedo really think she can command attention. The papers have been starved of fresh royal family content for a while. They are going to have a field day. Your sure crisis manager is still on payroll? LOL. We know they're not paying her enough. My unsolicited advice to the lady, do the smart thing. Get off that leaky fast. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. I think there's more comment, but I'm moving on. I wanted this to be for PYTE, but it seemed like some of the things here is gonna be for Team Sussex. Alright, next tweet. What exactly is crisis manager doing right now? Drinking at this rate? That people are laughing, but the squad are laughing. Pretty much it's saying there's issues going on, like the tweet that I just read, where William is in the Middle East. They're still talking about it. What's this? This will happen when you order crisis manager from Temu. You send a man whose uncle is involved in pedo Epstein file to meet a guy in Saudi Arabia who sent Epstein torture video and where a few years ago another guy arranged for Khashoggi. That's the guy I was thinking about, who was murdered, the journalist, to be killed and chopped up into suitcases. Alright, let's pause this. I think she is Karma's messenger and she's doing an excellent job. Alright, pulling their hair out. Alright, so there's all of that. You could pause and read. A cat is drinking. Let's move on. Next tweet. This is the time where people are supposed to do something. Okay, this video is gonna be on Team Sussex. I forgot all of this. Okay, Prince William's meeting with Mohammed bin Salman was a mind-boggling mistake. Alright, this is what the squad are saying. Crisis manager of everything, you sending them over there? Alright, so they want to normalize that kind of behavior. And for William defenders with Meghan haters, he was asked to go, yes, by a government with such poor judgment. They are in a whole pile of Epstein shit. William is a grown man and his follies. he should have his own moral compass, giving he is this great statement, you tabloid pump him up to be. LOL, that picture. Okay, they tag somebody here. Don't want to thread Jack on the site, but Royal Marsden has a German trustee with deep tie to Jeffrey Epstein. From the Tory graph on Monday that I just found out today, there's the archive and there's this thing here. Let's see here. The German countess who advised the NHS and called Epstein Mr. Wonderful, Nicole Junkerman, exchanged hundreds of emails with the convicted pedophile across 2 decades. In 2018, then Health Secretary Matt Hancock appointed Ms. Junkerman to his new Health Tech Advisory Board, a panel expert with a remit to create a culture of innovation in the NHS. She has since been appointed as a trustee of the Royal Marsden Cancer Charity, with the Prince and Princess of Wales serve as patron in the Royal Academy Trust. Ms. Junkerman is also an art collector and claimed to be one of the first outside investors in the Magnum Photo Agency. She lives in London with her husband, Count Ferdinando Rashidi Peridi. Okay, part of the wealthy. I don't know. These kind of things are just there to stifle money. Oh my God. Plus, Kensington Royal. William also just met with this sick man who shared and loved torture videos of children. What the F? This monster from the United Emirates was sharing videos of the torture of children with Jeffrey Epstein. They deserve nothing but hell. Oh, you know what? Let's, whatever's there, you could read. Alright, there it is here. Let's move on. Okay, I thought I was talking about Harry and Meghan, but I forgot some of these next to it. Alright, so now we're into Harry and Meghan, I think. Okay, the British press printed Prince Harry as the villain as he was victim shamed and gaslit by his own family, claimed he and his wife were the real problem. This is the thing that they tried to do to Michael Jackson as well. I haven't recorded those videos, those tweets that I came across regarding Michael Jackson, because they wanted Michael Jackson to be part of that Epstein thing. Even though there's pictures of Michael Jackson with Epstein, but what I think he saw what was happening on the island. So whenever he come across kids like Macaulay Culkin, who they were trying to bring to that island, he prevent Macaulay Culkin from going to that island. This is what was the thing Wonderland was about, a safe haven for the kids to just be kids. So what they did to Michael Jackson is flip the switch on him, while the perpetrator who was actually doing the abuse, they put the word out that it was Michael Jackson who was abusing the kids. Okay, as you can see, many of these people own and control the media. Okay, the newspapers, the TVs, the magazines, you name it, the radios and all of that. So they had control of all of this to broadcast that Michael Jackson was the bad guy, when in fact it was the other way around. And thank God some of those kids like Macaulay Culkin have come out and say what was happening, and Michael Jackson did not abuse them. Look what happened to what's his name, he married one of the Baldwin kids, Justin Bieber. Oh, I don't even want to go there. Alright, did I read this? The British press printed Prince Harry as the villain as he was victim shamed and gaslit by his own family, claimed he and his wife were the real problem, that they would be bringing about the end of the monarchy, and yet, you know whose name I haven't seen in them files. As I was reading this as well, you know what crossed my mind and what sort of really saved Harry and Meghan reputation? Not only because of the squad, but Meghan had a public profile before marrying into the institution. And guess what? She was not in the circle of the Epstein thing. There's a possibility she knew about it, because I don't know where I read this. You guys could correct me, but sometimes I come with my things, but let's put allegedly. I think Meghan and the Hollywood space, let's say when there's an after party or party, they invite her, she probably just show up just, to have some connection, You know, you do need to connect with people for business purposes. After she showed up, she leaves. She never go beyond, because sometimes when you linger around, you start drinking, things started to happen. So whenever she does those outing, she doesn't stay too long, and then she move away. Okay, get out of the party, so she never get involved. And this is what really saved her. She's not part of these things. And even though they try to have people to lie about her, they're like, nope, she's too good. I'm not gonna put myself in this situation. So with Meghan, public profile actually helped Harry and Meghan, because exactly what they did to Harry and Meghan, that's what they did to Michael Jackson. Okay, they flipped the script on them. But thank God for the Sussex squad, who knew about Meghan way before marrying Harry. That's what really prevent them from carry on, you know, to really drag their name like that. Even though they try, they're still at it. They try. Okay, so this is a GIF. They are trying hard to link Harry and especially Meghan to their royal family filth, but no amount of wishing will make it true. Slowly but surely, the public is learning who the real villains are. Yeah. Alright, Harry's sweet face, there's that. Vibe, okay, that's an ad. People are laughing. I just died in my soul. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, that's exactly what they did to Michael Jackson. And thank God with Harry as well, where they tried to pin Harry against the uncle. Okay, people were coming out and said no, that's not him. And thank God for him. And I think he knew. I'm sure he knew. He's like, I don't want to be part of this. And I always feel like, okay, allegedly, but this is my thought, I always feel like every time he does a public engagement for the institution, when Harry was working royal, he always fly to Africa, because I think he felt much safer in Africa than being in the UK, because these people will try to tie him into this behavior. He was like, I don't want to be part of that. So he was much safer in Africa, or even at war. Okay, so that's that. It turns out that Harry and Meghan were the ones who were too good for the royal family. There's that. Okay, told you so. What is that? Is that an ad? No, it's not. 54 seconds. Did you know that the black sheep in the family is the sanest one of all the family? Okay, let's listen to this.
Did you know that the black sheep in the family is the sanest one out of all? The black sheep of the family is the smartest, is that they see through all the bullshit, just like this person says, and they say, not me, I'm not going to be a part of it, and they disengage from the family dynamic. And then sadly, they're seen as the crazy one. They're looked at as the black sheep. And just like many of you have put in the comments, the family says, we don't know what's wrong with her. If you're old enough to ever have seen the Munsters, all the Munsters were all ugly and hideous monster-like people. But Marilyn, their cousin, was beautiful. Like beautiful, the blonde, the blue eyes, what you would think of as beautiful in our culture. But they would always say, poor Marilyn, she's so ugly, the poor thing. She wasn't ugly, they were. You're not ugly, your family dynamics are.
Okay, so that's pretty much that. They're flipping the switch on people who don't want to be part of their stupidity. So they point at you. Alright. It was never a secret that the Sussexes were edged out because they were so good and popular. The others, especially Kepi, were venomously jealous. That too, but I think they really wanted Harry to be part of them, to do the same sinister type of behavior. Harry was like, no, I don't want to be part of it. And he kept his mouth shut because he knows the tie, the connection. It's a worldwide connection. It's going to take a long time to get everybody out of this satanic kind of behavior. Okay, funny, the right wing have gone very quiet. Look like they backed the wrong horse. Yeah, I don't see the Rangers coming out and talk. And especially things that they see happening to children. They're literally eating. There's stuff I'm not showing you. I saw, okay, could be a child. Yeah, it has to be a child. You know, how do they call the leg? No, femur is part of the upper body. What do you call the part of the leg? I had to go look for it. Leg bone. I think this part here, lower leg bone. Okay, that. Okay, with some little, I think they really took the meat out of the leg, and then you see the shoes laying on a table. I'm telling you, these people are freaking monsters. They are evil. And it looks like a child leg. Oh my God. My God. Shit. These people are evil. There's no other word for it. Alright, funny the right wing have gone very quiet. Okay, I read that. I don't blame Harry for distancing himself from this lot. Alright, that's an ad. Let's go to the next tweet. These people are sick. They are sick. The things that I'm seeing. Oh my God. And then everybody else who's not part of their kind of sick kind of behavior, they call them, what is it? What do they call this? Like voodoo and things like that. Look how they try to, other cultures, they try to tell them how bad they are, when in fact, it's just their own way of practicing their particular religion. Alright, next week. Next week, Scooter, do you Sultan? Scooter, let's see here.
I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. And he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man. I hate to say.
They're talking about the leftover who went to the Middle East. When they ask him, he will be like, I don't know. Alright, there's only one response with this emoji. What is that here? There's the as ever here. I just received my 4th as ever delivery, and it always impresses me the care they put into the packaging and shipping of their products. It's such a joy to open these boxes. Alright, so there's that. Alright, people are receiving their as ever kind of thing. Alright, that will be for another video. Alright, since majority of this is gonna be them, let me pause. Maybe I'll do 2 parts. Okay, I just put some of these on the list. Let's go to the next one. Maybe from this point on I'll do another video. Okay, so let's look at this.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
We ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.